You know, why, of all the things in the world, of all the opportunities that are laid out in front of you in life,
Hmm.
why did we choose this and not like travel blog? We could have been talking about like the latest hotel trends in teak
Yeah.
wood for the Pacific Islanders or something that we could have gone and visited.
I mean, I think self-loathing plays a big role in it. But yeah, you can't, sometimes the career chooses you, I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I should have focused on pina colada reviews. Like that would have been.
Yeah, you can't take it back. What are you going to do?
I don't know. I don't feel like I'm very old. I could probably make a
Yeah,
hard pivot.
you could have a second act, I guess. I mean,
Yeah,
arguably you are in your second act. I
not
don't
even 40 yet.
know. I know. So much change.
I can only say that for another 7 months.
Yep. You're already in your 40th year, as I think I pointed out to you in August or whatever that was.
Of all the things that I chose to do today,
Sorry, man. Good morning.
anyways, Microsoft's apparently going to start pushing 24H2 to more people, which I don't know if is a good decision.
Yeah, I think it's going great. I don't see why they don't just open the floodgates, maybe crash some Kindles. I don't know, like
Ubisoft games aren't going to work.
Ubisoft games. Yeah. I mean, if you have Assassin's Creed, you're probably looking at crashes. I don't know. It's
My
hard to say.
oh god, clipboard history would not work today on my computer upstairs, which is on 24H2. And so I was actually telling Paul about this after the podcast yesterday. We
Hmm.
get some unique data because of Start 11 and other things and people using our products. And 24H2 has been rather rough compared to
Yeah.
previous releases. I'm not saying it's horrific and like the world is ending, but
I,
there's
I, I might be saying that. I
there's
mean, not
more
the world
rough
is ending,
edges
right?
than.
I think this is the most buggy, unreliable update they've shipped in the modern era that I can think of. You know,
Yeah.
it's been just on a slow boil of problems.
Maybe if they just went back to like one update a year, not one update every week.
I look, yes, that would be ideal, but let's just working within the stupidity we exist in. I mean, maybe just follow your own schedule. Here's an idea: push new features through the Insider program in some form of stages, and then put it out in stable after it's been tested. Just do that. Give us some predictability about the features that are coming in each release. But we just wake up every other Tuesday and it's like, oh, what happened? you know, you have no idea. Plus the CFR stuff, so it could be any day. You'll turn on your computer someday and be like, oh, look at that. The clock is different for some reason, or Copilot moved for the 17th time or whatever.
Can I this could be a career ending analogy, but I gotta tell you an analogy here.
Okay.
Now I know you've seen this clip because it's from I think Vietnam. It's the guy, I cannot remember his name, but
Hmm.
he's blinking Morse code torture. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
You know what question they actually asked him?
Mm-mm.
Describe how Windows ships updates.
Nice. Nice.
Because nobody on planet Earth, there's
Yeah.
no,
So what he blinked made no sense, is what you just told me. It was just random blinks.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That is
nobody
that's
nobody understands this. Nobody
dude,
nobody
I've been
can with a
complaining about this
straight
for like
face
two
sit
and a
down
half
and
years.
say
This is like this,
how a particular feature gets updated because sometimes it shows up on 23H2. Sometimes there's a random Windows 10 Insider update, which is now dead, so that's not happening. It could be a weak A, B, C, or D. It could be
yep.
a 24H2 update. It could be a cumulative update package or whatever they call it, enablement pack. Like the
Dude, I
number
feel
of
like you've just summarized my career for the past like 2.5 years or whatever it's been. The first time this happened that I was notable, and I'm trying to remember if it was the very first version of Windows 11. I think it was, which included a new version of File Explorer and but the old OneDrive experience, the one you would have from Windows 10. And then in late November, early December that year, they updated the OneDrive UI, but not everywhere. And in the beginning, there were only like 3 folders that could be backed up, but then eventually there were 5. And there was a period of time, and I mean like a period of time that was between 12 and 15 months long, where I had all, different computers all over like I do. And I could see all 3 different versions of OneDrive. Like they wouldn't all update to the latest version. Now, today, they've actually solved this problem, but I mean, solved this problem. Time passed, right? But that was the first one where I was like, seems like they would have announced or tested this, but they never did. And that was the first one. So the new Windows 11 style UI for OneDrive, when you go into the settings part
Hmm.
of that, debuted at the end of that year. They never announced it. They never tested it. And that was the first, like I said, it was the first indication. I was like, that's not a good trend. Well, they probably won't do that again. Cue the next 2 years. Like, it's been like that ever since.
I think the to me as a ignorant outsider, what
Yeah.
it feels like is a team comes to Windows and is like, hey, we got to ship this update. What are our options? And they said, well, you can do it on patch Tuesday. And they're like, that's not good enough. And they're like, okay, we'll create
Right.
something for you. We'll call it an enablement package. And then another team came over and said, we need to create something or ship something. Like, okay, we have patch
Right,
Tuesday or enablement
just
packages.
explain to me something. So, for example, you just mentioned at the top of the show that Microsoft in a support document said, hey, we're rolling this out to more PCs. They didn't explain even what that means,
No,
like,
no,
what
they
the
don't.
criteria, but okay, fine. We vaguely have some understanding that there's a database of known good hardware configurations somewhere at Microsoft. And they're, of course, looking at all the feedback they get from doing the upgrades or whatever it is. And there's this system where over time it goes out to more and more computers, the latest feature update. Okay. There's logic to that plan, assuming they do it as described, completely logical. But over 50% of new features added to Windows 11 through cumulative updates every month or feature updates every year are CFRs, controlled feature releases. And those are random, like literally. It's spin the wheel, Bob, and see what we got today. Oh, it looks like you're getting that taskbar feature. What is that? Like, it's not based on like science or telemetry. It's just like, we're gonna make sure that every computer is a little different, but always in different ways, because there are, I don't know the count, but over a dozen, probably less than 2 dozen features in Windows 11 right now that are on CFR. So you could have whatever that number of combinations is. You pick a number, I don't know, whatever. It's probably 1 million. I don't even know. Just you turn on your computer, it's a little different.
One of the
It's
greatest
there.
things that's happened in the past 10 days. So,
Yeah.
the smartest Windows engineer at Stardock, the guy who can make Groupie, which is a conundrum within itself and probably shouldn't even exist,
Okay. A
was trying to
paradox wrapped in
install
an enigma.
24H2. It was doing the
Yeah.
whole reboot thing. It
Hmm.
failed. And so it started to roll back. And he
Right.
lost his mind. He's like, where is the reasoning for this? Like, there's got to be a log. There's got to be a reason this is why this failed. He's like, I can fix it. He's like, of all the people who can figure out why something is wrong, why can't it tell me what was wrong so I can fix it?
Because
Just,
that's useful information, Brad.
yeah.
The sad thing
Ugh.
about that is, without knowing what kind of computer he was using or anything about it, is you could like unplug a USB dongle, you could unplug a camera, you could do whatever it is, and it would probably work. You know, I mean, that's one sad bit of advice. Like, if that ever happens, 'cause I think most people do that and they're like, yeah, no, I'm done. But if for some reason you wanted to push it, just unplug everything you can from the computer, try it again. I bet it works fine. Let me see if I have it on this computer. On several computers, the latest cumulative update, so actually I guess it would be the latest preview update, will not install. Like, it says it's not on this one. So it says that it's installing, and then it goes to some point, and then it just fails. It's like, okay. And it gives you an error message,
Mhm.
but there's nothing you can do to fix this. Maybe it works someday, maybe it doesn't. Who can say? Patch
Yeah.
Tuesday will come eventually.
Anyways, 24H2. Proceed at your own.
Steaming pile of upgrade.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
whatever. Not trying to be negative Nancy, but
No, you're just describing a situation.